This video describes the changes made to ChessOcr version 1.4. If you have never used ChessOcr, you should first look at the original video to understand how it works. We are now able to send recognition results directly to the ChessBase Android app. This requires us to have two different analyze options instead of one, called XFEN Analyze and URIFEN Analyze. The first, XFEN Analyze, is the same as the old Analyze option, which invokes apps such as Droidfish, SCID in the Go, or PGN Mentor. The new URIFEN Analyze option starts the ChessBase app with a recognized figure as input. This app includes two chess engines that can be used to analyze positions, and if an internet connection is available, it can also search in the online ChessBase database. However, as we show, a database search for the games containing a given position is successful only if that position is in the opening book, which is approximately the first 20 moves. When successful, the database lookup returns a list of the games that contain that position, and we can then look at any game in more detail. In our example, we have recognized a position from the first book of Judith Polgar's games, and we are playing over the moves in that particular game. Here we perform a recognition of a position in the same game, but taken at a later point, beyond the moves in the opening book. We see that in this case that we have progressed too far, and the database lookup fails using the ChessBase Android app, and no match games that contain that position are returned. One drawback of this app is that it is not possible to predict how far the opening book progresses for a given line, so sometimes the database search will fail even when the position in the game is well before move 20. Here we start the chess engines in the ChessBase app to analyze the position, and this always works even if database lookup fails. This analysis capability using these chess engines in this Android app is well integrated with the user interface, and the combination of analysis and database search makes this a very useful app. We can also invoke the ChessBase app with the usual touch and hold on the color selection, but now there is a new setting in the options which lets us select whether XFEN Analyze or URIFEN Analyze is invoked on a touch and hold color select. Here we show the default setting of this option, which is to use XFEN Analyze on a touch and hold color select, which is equivalent to a short touch on color select followed by choosing XFEN Analyze. Now, after this, we change the settings to make the touch and hold invoke the ChessBase app instead. This means that a touch and hold is now the same as a touch on the color select followed by choosing the URIFEN Analyze option. So in this way, we can invoke the ChessBase app in the same way as we could invoke the other apps by doing a touch and hold on the color selection. Here again we show the same database lookup on the input position and demonstrate that it returns the actual game that contains that position. Many Android devices have a lighting compensation setting that defaults to the automatic mode. For a few tablets, such as my Asus Memo Pad shown here, this automatic compensation does not work well, and figure recognition will only work in very bright light, and usually fails in ordinary light, as we can see here. For this reason, there is a new setting called ISO mode that becomes available for devices that have the ability to change their lighting compensation. If you can only successfully recognize positions in bright light, then you should use this option to change the setting to the highest ISO value that exists in the menu. Often, this will solve the problem, and we see here that for my Asus tablet, with this new setting, we can now successfully recognize in ordinary light. Another new setting is the ability to turn on continuous autofocus. This setting appears only for devices that have this capability. Using continuous autofocus often makes the autofocus process a bit faster, so it is worth experimenting with this setting. However, it does not change the recognition results dramatically. Here we can see that the autofocus is indeed slightly faster when this setting is on.